I often refer to Maslow'S hierarchy of needs within the context of sociological inquiry. And I wanted to lay it down and really look at what it means in terms of social structure, in terms of being individuals and being part of a group, right? So even though it is a psychology theory, kind of what motivates us, and most people are familiar with this, but there's the physiological and safety needs, which I kind of reformulated together. This is really the core survival aspects of being human. All this other stuff, belongingness, esteem, self-actualization, that's very abstract because meeting the basic immediate needs is of the highest concern. But as those are met, then it allows us greater flexibility, greater opportunity to be able to kind of start to hone in on those needs and build relationships and start to develop ourselves in accordance with what we see as like success or accomplishment, which again, those definitions are both socially derived and then individuals have their own ideas, and there's usually a mashup of the two. If you lean a little bit too farther in each direction, you might not be able to like achieve in that way at that point in time, because a lot of this is contextual time, where you are in your life, your age, the aspects of society that are impeding your ability to achieve. It's all the intersections of these things. But once you get to this point, the self-actualization, now a lot of times kind of people get kind of stuck. They might plateau in a certain area. They might say, this is kind of all I need right here. But then maybe over time, maybe they've been in this area for a while. People a lot of times get land in this esteem needs, accomplishment, right? And then they accomplish so much, but then they still have this question is like, what is the meaning of my life? What is the purpose of my life? Kind of existential questions, because everything else has kind of been answered and demonstrated and achieved. So then that next level, which I find the most fascinating and interesting aspect of being a human being, is really trying to achieve all these things in kind of our everyday life so that we can now begin to put some efforts into expanding on these larger questions, which can never really be answered. But the idea that the questions themselves are very provocative and they have meaning for our everyday lives. Because I feel like at every certain point there should be lessons, and there should be like this circular relationship between how it can help you. For example, I think when you reach the self-actualization part, you may start to kind of look at things like esteem and belongingness differently. Again, the basic core survival really stays the same, in the way that I understand it to be. So that, as long as that's covered, now you could get pulled down, you could get knocked off one of these tiers where you're trying every day, you are struggling to just survive, and you may have been climbing up there, and to have gotten up there and to lose it, inherently you do know at least you can get it again. Some people have never gotten out of this cycle. So just kind of wanted to show you what I was riffing on a Sunday, Valentine's Day, February 14th, 2021. Thanks.
Today's lecture sponsored by Grindr, OkCupid, and Tinder. Keep swiping. You'll find somebody